and it doesn't even feel like I made the song anymore. It feels like just this like shadow that's lurking behind me, like you need to like do better than me, or you're fucking gone. You're out of here.
I like the way you pull it off anytime you're in the room. Everybody knows that you enjoy.
How did you get into making music? And how did you get into making the music that you're making now? And was there a specific person that led you to go in that direction? Or even go down this path, say, hey, you should try making your own music. Like, how did you end up making music yourself?
So for the longest time, I was just making like lo-fi, and I was just making trap beats, and I was just producing.
Mm-hmm.
And I started getting into R&B because of After the
Okay,
Party,
yeah.
and and through that, I just found so many other
Mm-hmm.
artists that were making R&B, and I was like, damn, there's no way in fucking hell I could make my vocals sound like that. Like, there's absolutely no way I could do that. So I was like, started finding people who were making my like melodic
Mm-hmm.
R&B, and it was more like rapping. So I was like, I think that's
Right.
doable. So I was trying to do that for a while, and then I was also just like rapping for a while, and then I don't know, just something about it just felt really bad, and I feel like it wasn't sounding
Mm-hmm.
very good as time would go on, and I would listen back to it. I was like, "This just sounds like
Right.
shit." I remember seeing a clip of
Yeah.
Black saying that everybody could sing, they just have to figure out how
Mm-hmm.
they sing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's like probably the realest and best advice that I ever heard.
Nice. So you would say that you started it was a trial and error kind of thing, right? Where you were like, all right, I know the sound that I want to do, and I'm going to try my hardest to get to that point. And eventually you said it started sounding like what you wanted to hear, like what you liked hearing. Okay,
Exactly,
okay.
and it was because for the longest time, I was just so in my head about it, like, there's no way I can sing. I still don't think I can sing at all, like, I genuinely believe
Right, right.
at all. I just I feel like just practicing
Mm-hmm.
engineering, vocal engineering and mixing and mastering is just my strong
Right.
suit, and just starting out as a producer is a
Mm-hmm.
strong suit,
Mm-hmm.
and with all of that, I was just able to achieve this sound. It took a lot of years
Right.
to.
And for the uh making the music in general, well, at least being the artist in general, that was like you said, you were a producer at first. So and again, as day one fans, we've heard it before where you were like, well, I was making beats and then ain't nobody really, they won't get on them. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get on them, right? Now, do you think that mindset led to you being that persistent in like, all right, I'm not like, it doesn't sound good. This one doesn't sound good, but I know that let me try it again and again and again. And like you said, eventually it sounded like that. Do you think that mindset of like, well, fuck it, if nobody's gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. Do you think that mindset led to the ability to make the music that you make now?
That mindset is the mindset I've had that has been able to achieve literally everything that I put out and everything that you see.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a gift and a curse
Right.
in a sense, because I'm just extremely stubborn,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I naturally have like a big ego that nowadays I try to like hide
Right.
and tuck away a little
Uh-huh.
bit.
Uh-huh.
But that mindset is what got me from like sitting here trying to send a million beats to
Mm-hmm.
people and them recording it and it just sounds fucking
Right.
terrible or not what I wanted. And then maybe there was like one or two that was really
Mm-hmm.
good, but it just wasn't like fulfilling or satisfying. And it also wasn't fulfilling or satisfying because I don't know, I have a problem with like where I just want everything to be entirely me,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like if it's not, then it's not actually mine. And I'm trying to get better at that.
Right.
That's why I did a couple features, and I even worked with Safa Beats, which was really
Okay.
cool last year on a beat, which I would normally never do. Like I would never even hop on somebody else's
Right.
beat because it just doesn't make sense to me. Because I'm like, I make beats and I make my own
Right.
sounds.
Right.
Like,
And
but I'm
you
trying to
know
stay
what
away. I'm
sound
trying
that
to
you can do.
stay. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. But as far as it goes, though, like having that mindset is absolutely what got me to this sound.
Mhm.
I could have settled with like having a bunch of people hop on my beats that I'm not satisfied
Right.
with, or they're not giving me that vision. So I just said fuck it, and it was probably like, man, it was probably like 5 or 7 years of just trying to figure out how to get my vocals to fit on these
Right,
beats.
right, right. You said you don't have, like, you said you have an ego, and you say you try to, like, humble yourself a little bit. So, like, how does it feel? Because right now you have not one but two songs with over 1 million plays. How does that feel? Does it kind of give you a big head, or like does it change how you look at what you make and how you look at those songs? Or does it just kind of like how when people say, how does it feel to be whatever age? You're like, I don't know. It kind of feels the same as yesterday.
It, no, it's a hard question to answer, but the word that comes to mind is just it feels kind of scary, and it feels that way because it's like, okay, here's this song,
Hmm, hmm.
Eclipse. I love it.
It's a good song.
It
It's a good song.
it it hits 1 million, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is the one that's just taking off like crazy. The other ones are doing pretty good, but this is the one that's taking off. This is the one that people like DM me about. This is the one where the majority find me. It's the one that has the most comments, and it's scary because like now it feels like I'm in competition with this song that I made, and it doesn't even feel like I made the song anymore. It feels like just this like shadow that's lurking behind me, like you need to like do better than me, or you're fucking gone, you're out of here. And for the longest time that's what it was, and I was trying to attempt to do the thing where I cater to the audience and
Right.
like give them what they want and try to make some more songs like Eclipse, but it's really hard to just capture that same exact vibe because my headspace was somewhere else, and you know how it goes.
Right. And you answered one of my questions. Does it, like, you don't want to lose that audience, but it's like also you had, like you said, you have people come, yo, can you make another joint like Eclipse? And it's like, sure, but it wouldn't be authentic. It's not like I was in a different headspace. I can make it, but again, it won't be authentic. Like, cause again, that's two songs that has touched people in that way or has reached people enough for them to go, yeah, no, that's that makes sense. I like this. Has the realization set in that, yo, that's 1 million times a group of people have listened to this song. Does that ever feel like, do you ever like encapsulate that? Like how you look at what you do, 200 views is a sold out theater, right? 2,000 views is a sold out like music venue. 100,000 is a sold out stadium, right? Do you ever
Yeah.
have to encapsulate that? It's like, all right, that's how I bring myself to not have it as a shadow, but like as an accomplishment of 1 million times. Like,
So the good thing is that it happened gradually.
okay. So it wasn't like
with
boom
both of
overnight.
them. Yeah, I think if it was overnight, those would be like that would absolutely be the thoughts that's running through my
Right.
brain. But with all of these songs and all of these like new fans I've acquired, I always have to humble myself and just realize that like, hey, I wouldn't have none of this shit if it wasn't for Dynamic.
Right.
And as well as all the other artists that get posted on Dynamic, I think we all need to realize that like we genuinely would not be shit without his vision.
Right.
Like to the majority, Dynamic is just like a YouTube channel. But to me, I see that man as like that is an artist.
Right.
To be able to curate all these playlists with a specific sound,
Right.
and he has even I'll send him a song and he'll be like, "Oh, can you actually do this with it?" And I'll be kind of fucking pissed because I'm like, that's not how I want my song to go. But when I do end up doing the like small tweaks that he has me do, it changes the song like crazy. And I think he's also a big reason why my sound is the way that it is now.
Right.
So I feel like it's different because he has allowed us this platform where our music can grow and like find a home.
Right.
And it's always going to be that in my mind. It's hard to like look at it as it was just myself doing it. Like I know I made the song and the song resonates with
Right.
people, but the song wouldn't even reach these people if it wasn't for him. So that's kind of just how I see
Okay.
all of
Right.
it. Yeah, I don't really know where I've gone with this, but
No, I understand. Like some people will say, oh, like, and it is for some people, it is one of those things where you go, that didn't, especially if you're not the artist, the artist themselves, where you look at it, it's like, oh, that didn't do, they didn't do whatever number. And among the younger crowd, right, everything is so fast that, if this song, if one song does whatever number, right, and another song does a lower number, it'd be like, oh, the fall off is crazy. And it's like, no, it's just, that's how things work. There's ebbs and flows of, just how things work. Because you could put out a song, like you said, you put out a song, million plus, and then another one, boom, million plus. But if as an artist you do that and you put another one out and you say, I didn't do as well, but you know what? The next one, boom, next one's gonna be crazy, right? Like, because it is your art. You didn't really like having the input where you're like, I didn't want the shit to sound like that though. And you did, you're like, all right, but it worked though. It sounds good. I will admit I'm wrong. Thank you for the input. The way that you put it is very good, where you say, it's not really about the number so much. It's just getting to that next level. And you said it's not even like, I'm a crazy million. It's just, all right, now I need to get another one to the million. And it drives you to not get complacent. And you said that all of the artists under Dynamic are doing that, where you go, all right, but that one didn't do that one did 1.1. The last one did 1.5. So let me get back up.
It's like gambling. I feel like releasing music through Dynamic, like, well, once you see like numbers going up and stuff like that, you just want another one. You just want to keep going. It just turns into you trying to satisfy like dopamine
I was gonna say
levels.
that dopamine rush. That's really where I was getting to, that dopamine rush, right? So how did you said it was gradual, right? Now, was it something that you were, how they have, like, YouTubers will have their countdown clock from Social Blade or whatever, right? Were you watching the views, or were you just like, all right, I'm going to drop it and whatever happens, happens? How did you find out? Did Dynamic email you? Was it like each goal? Or did somebody have to say, hey,
so for the once it hit like 500,000, I was like, okay, I have to stop looking at this because it's unhealthy.
Right, yeah.
And it's also just fucking with my creative process. And I can't make shit because I'm just looking at numbers and I can't focus. So I was like, I'm not looking at this anymore. So for months I stopped looking at it, and then my friend Seabass texted me and he's like, yo, you're almost at 1 million. And I'm like, what?
Shut up.
and I it's crazy because I was like, it was just at 500,000. Like, what are you talking about? And I think at that point it was at like 900,000 when I checked
so it was like,
and I was like, yeah, it was the shit is growing. Like, it's still growing, like, till this day. And he told me that, and I was just like, oh fuck, like maybe I should start keeping an eye on it more. But then I completely forgot to do that. And like weeks pass, and I'm like, oh, I should probably check on the song. And it's at like 980K.
You're like, ooh,
or some shit like that. And I'm like, yo, like, this is crazy. This is growing. And then I forget about it again. And I remember I was in the living room with Ani, Freddie, and I think it was just us two. And I was telling my friend Freddie about how the song's growing like crazy, and I'm almost at 1 million, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, actually, let me like check on that real quick. And then we're both looking at my phone, and it's like loading, and you just see it says 1 million. And me and him both jump like crazy, and we're like, oh shit. And he's like, hell yeah, you did that shit, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, this is fucking crazy. And then they were telling me that I got to throw like a party.
Right. And this is where this came
like that. But I was like, nah, fuck that. It wasn't overnight. It was gradual. It doesn't matter.
Right.
I was like, we're not doing no party. I don't deserve it.
So it did kind of feel like, it's 1 million, but like,
it was 1 million, but I can do better.
Like,
and it's I don't know. It sucks. I never let myself like celebrate anything, unfortunately. And I think that's why I feel like I have like an ego, because in a way it kicks in, and I'm just like, no, like, fuck that. Like, yeah, be proud of it, but don't be proud of it for two. Don't be proud of it for more than 5 fucking minutes.
Go get back to work,
like,
stupid.
get the fuck back to it and do better.
That's only 1 million. Big whoop.
That's kind of how it is with everything that I do. So I I don't know. That's how it was though.
Now,
Experiencing that, it was
now,
cool.
who was it that made you like? Was it that group collectively that you were like? Did you go yeah, and then you sit back there and like, yeah, that's cool though. That's cool. That's whatever. Or was it who was it specifically that was like, all right, but honestly, that's 1 million views. That's 1 million plays. That's good. Be happy.
Yeah,
Who took you by the collar and said,
yeah.
"Be happy though. Be happy. You can. It's all right to celebrate accomplishments. That's not a thing that everybody can do organically, because obviously, like you said, it wasn't overnight. It was a organic growth. It was, and that's honestly, like I said, the young people like to go, "Oh, the fall off is crazy." But the reason that people fall off is because shit happens overnight rather
Yeah,
than
they blow up
growing.
immediately and then
Exactly.
fall off
Right, because they
immediately.
don't know
Like,
how to deal with
so that's
that
why
growth. They just
yeah.
it just all happened. I was saying, who was it that grabbed you by the collar and said, you know, it's all right to celebrate your accomplishments. It's okay.
It was just on. It was Ani and Freddie. Like they were just like, do you know? They were telling me like they were legit. Like we should throw a party for this. But I said no.
No, it's okay. It was.
I said we'll throw a party when I don't know when like the bigger moment happens. Like I'm like, I remember what I said. I said we'll throw a party when I'm not at this fucking 9 to 5 anymore and the shit is paying my bills. I said that's when we're gonna throw a fucking party.
So, well, because like you said, you aren't you the way you describe your ego is funny to me, because a lot of people would say, oh, an ego is celebrated, you know, an ego is almost masturbatory, where it's like, it's very much, oh, you know, yeah, I did that 1 million plays. Yeah, hell yeah. And we're going to do it again and again and again. And the way you described your ego is like, yeah, but it wasn't overnight. I would say that's more.
There's probably a better word for it. That's just the word that I go to.
I always say an ego is very braggadocious, which you are not.
That's true. I can be. The thing is, I can be.
and I think that the fact that you don't shows that you don't really have an ego. But
that's true.
My question is really, what keeps you from not bragging? Is it just the fact that you're just like, well, that wasn't, I could do better, or I know that this is not my final form, etc., etc. Like you said, you don't want to celebrate. You don't want to brag because it's not paying your bills. You're still working a 9 to 5. What is it that keeps you from being a braggadocious person? Because again, this is a big deal. It's not a small feat, especially again organically.
So what I remember when I was in high school, I was absolutely the type of person that was like, I would call people out if they like suck at something, and I would be like, let me show you how I do it,
right?
Because like I know how to do it. I'm gonna show you how to do it, and you're gonna be like me. Like I had like that kind of mindset, and I would talk like that, and I was just fucking annoying. And I had a friend named Aiden. He goes by Ghost. He absolutely like humbled the fuck out of me because he would make fun of me anytime he caught me doing that shit, and he would roast the fuck out of me. And I remember he would call me Russ, and I hated that
like
shit.
The
I'm like, he would call me,
oh my god,
he'd be like, you're being a Russ right now. I'm just like, I don't want to be that person anymore, and I really like wanted to change that. So that's why I say I really can be that person. And I remember I would start so many problems with people, and I would make enemies with people, and like it's just not fun.
Right.
It's just not fun to be that person. So like I've humbled it down, but in a way, when I say I have an ego, I feel like it's just I have an ego like against myself. I think we all should.
A self-deprecating
of course,
ego.
You know, we should all have like that aspect that humbles you, and that should be the thing that keeps you to level up and keep going and doing better and shit like that, of course. But I don't know, there's definitely probably a better word for it, but I just call it an ego because of like where it came from.
I like that though. You essentially you grew up. So a bit of off the wall question. If your music / body of work was a food, any food at all, what would it be?
Dude, this is so funny because the only thing I could think of is just like a fucking block of tofu.
Just soft, medium, or hard? How? Where are we on the texture?
But Like in between,
Okay.
like, you know, you got that, it has that nice slice to it. You have to put a little bit of force on it. You know what I mean?
It's got a
Like
nice, it's got
it's
a
like an
nice
AS,
texture.
it's like a, yeah, it's like an ASMR video. It's like,
I want a block of tofu.
no, I say that because, um, dude, it's so weird. Anytime I'm trying to make music, especially because like for the past year and a half now, I've been trapped in like that minimal mindset and the digital minimalism
Right.
mindset, and I've been so obsessed with that. That I've been trying to have the aesthetics and the music capture that as well, and just to be as empty as possible,
Right.
painted white walls, empty, kind of empty, like, you know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when you ask that, I'm just like, "It's a fucking block of tofu, bro." Like what else could it
Right.
be?
So for right now,
It's
the food is
it's
tofu.
either yeah, it's either you pick up that tofu and fucking like get fancy with it
Right.
and turn it into a nice ass meal, or you just leave it alone and look at it. It's just a block of tofu, whatever. I say that just because I've been obsessed with that, and when I make music, I just try to think. I try to capture just like
hmm
emptiness and loneliness
Right.
and just minimalism, and that's why a lot of the beats they're pads and chords or samples that have just been filtered
hmm
like crazy
hmm
and like reverbed, and they're very much in the background,
Right.
and the vocals and the drums are doing the heavy
hmm
lifting, and it just feels like emptiness to me.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
I'm obsessed with like texture.
Right. I was gonna say, yeah. The texture, like the past few releases that I've seen from you, I'm like, I see what he's going for. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Nice,
Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
And that actually leads me to my next question, where to me, everything that you release has been something that is art. Like it is art. And you can tell from how, like you said, it sounds like you put work into it. This is not something that you're not overnighting it, right? It's a
Oh,
yeah,
no way.
you're working on a song for like a week or so, right? Or maybe longer.
Oh,
It'll be like a rare piece of art, right? It'll be almost, and I hate, oh my God, I hate it. It's almost like an NFT where if you don't get it, it's gone. It's one of those things where you put it out, if you ain't catch it when it was up, it's gone, right?
yeah, absolutely.
But recently you found a cache of your older music and your older works and stuff like that. And for some day one fans who have been following you through different iterations of you, they may have heard it. They may have seen a snippet. People who watch my stream may have caught a couple of songs. People who watch,
Oh yeah,
if you see things, right? Like I said, it's like rare pieces of art where you go, oh, I got it though, or like a Pokemon card, or like,
dude, I have a couple people who download my shit and they just have like a collection
right,
of shit that's basically lost
right.
media at this point, in a sense.
And you posted on socials that you had found something, either a hard drive. I can't remember where it was, but it was a cache of
Yeah.
your music. Do you think those would ever be released to the public, or do you think you would try and maybe go back and rework it with the knowledge and skills that you have now? Or do you think you'd just be like, oh, you know what? Do you ever feel like it would come out?
It's crazy. So I found it on an SD card, and that SD card I had a little Canon digital camera. I was like, I'm gonna just pop this SD card in it, and I was more than positive it was like a brand new SD card, and I was using it for like a month. And when I popped it into my computer to get the pictures out, I see so many folders of the music, and I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, when did this happen?
Mhm.
When did I do this? And it was just like an archive of like Cordlon and Lord Khan and all that
Right.
shit, and like some old like October stuff.
Mhm.
And I was digging through the Cordlon stuff, and I was like, damn, I thought I had lost this, because when I delete something,
Right.
it's gone from my
Exactly.
possession.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit about it. If I come down to like, I'm gonna delete this, like
It's gone, right?
And if somebody else didn't get it, then there's no way I'm gonna hear it
Right.
again. If I didn't send it over email to somebody, there's no way I'm gonna dig through my email and find it. Like, it's gone. But I was listening to a lot of shit on there, and I just have to say, 17-year-old me is a better producer than I am now. That motherfucker was on some other shit, and I don't think I will ever be like that ever again. So with that being said, I did find like 3 projects that I was like, I can absolutely see myself releasing this in the future.
Mhm.
So I could definitely see myself doing it.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if I do.
I like that. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. I would, me myself, I wouldn't be surprised if I did do it. You know, I like that. I like that. Okay. Because when you posted it, I was like, and you scrolled down. I kind of like slowed down the footage. I was like, I think I might have that one. I think I might have that one too. Lit. You know, so it
kind of is like an NFT. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, where it's like if you don't get it, it's gone, and the people who have it, and the people who don't. Okay, that's cool. Do you think you would put it out on like a Bandcamp, or do you think you would just drop it, you know, as like a fuck it, I didn't. It's already done. Half the stuff is already done, so take it.
Dude, that's actually what stopped me from like worrying about it. Because I was like, do I have the Chordla on Bandcamp still?
Right, yeah.
I can probably get the password for it, but I'm like, do I want to be Chordla again? And then I was like, do I drop it under October? I don't want that to mesh with the October shit. And then I was like, I don't fucking care anymore. So I'll probably pick that up again sometime in the future, most likely. But for now, I don't really give a shit.
Okay. The one thing I want to ask, the biggest thing really, right? Well, two things, really. You already said who found out first, right? Your group of people, your girlfriend, your friends, and all that. Yeah. Who else? Who outside of that circle? Who did you tell first? And how many people did you tell that, you know, that the song got to 1 million? Who gave you the best response? Who gave you like who was like, oh shit, yeah, like who gave you the best response, and who gave you the best response that you weren't expecting?
I mean, dude, I gotta be honest, I didn't expect them to be like, yo, we should throw a party about this, because that would never cross my fucking mind at all. And outside of them, the only other person I told was just my family.
Okay. Out of your family, who gave you like...
Dude, the thing is crazy because I never really talk about my music with my family.
Right, yeah.
Because I have this thing in my head where I'm like, if it's not paying my bills or making me any money, I feel like there's no point in telling them, because they're kind of like, they're old school, you know. They don't understand how Spotify works. They don't understand how, if to them it's like, how you have 1 million plays but you're still working at fucking Smith's. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? So like, I hesitate to tell them things, but like I told everybody like, hey, they hit 1 million. And they're like, wow, like, good job. And that was about it.
Oh, lit, bet.
That's kind of how it is. That's why, I don't know, in a way it's like very humbling to have that. So I'm thankful for it. But yeah, I genuinely think the best response was probably just in that room. Like when it happened, because I'm not the type of person to just tell everybody. Like, I didn't even know the song was at 900K. Somebody else had, somebody else had to tell me. So I'm not the type of person to just talk about my shit.
Yeah, no. So is there anyone that you would like to thank? It can be 10 people, it can be 200. Just rattle it off. Give a list. I won't play the music over you like the Grammys.
No, this is gonna be a very, 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 very short answer. Shout out to Dynamic. And that's it.
I didn't fall in love, watch the moon disappear like we in some fucking shit, yeah.